So what does this wagon with 380,000 Ks on it need to get roadworthy? Let's find out. I've had the best non-professional mechanic look at this car, and I reckon it needs a rocker covered gasket. You can see it's leaking through the exhaust manifold there. It needs a power steering line, a high pressure power steering line. You can see how wet that is. It's sprayed oil out everywhere. And I suspect maybe a front timing cover oil leak. It's all pretty wet there, but that also could be oil coming out of the pump, spraying onto the belts, going across the engine. Apart from that, up the top here, it looks pretty good. And having a look underneath, I'm actually surprised. The brakes look good. I haven't measured them. I don't know if they're undersized, but they're not lipped, and the pads are nice and thick. I can't see any other real issues. All the ball joints, they're not torn. These top ones have a small bit of play. The top inner ones, small bit of play, but not too much. I think they probably should have a little bit. But the biggest concern is this inner bush here. You can see daylight through there. So the lower control arm inner bush and caster rod arm bush, they are completely gone. So this whole strut moves forward and back quite badly, which is probably causing a lot of brake shutter and cornering issues. But apart from that, it looks pretty good. The ball joints don't look torn. Nothing has excessive play in it. That's it suspension wise. Oil leaks wise, on the other hand, there's a little bit going on under here. So there's a huge sump gasket leak. You can see that. It is just very, very thick. The whole way around the sump, even on the back of the motor, the bell housing, you can see it's leaking like a sieve. So I've got genuine Ford half moon seals for the front and back for my mechanic to install, and a Super Pro kit to fully rebush these lower control arms. It could be a rear main, but we'll get this all cleaned up, new sump seal, and then we'll drive it around and see if the rear main starts leaking. But that should get me through a roadworthy. And there is quite a bit of oil on that transmission. That also could be blowback from the motor, but I'll let the professionals have a look. The next roadworthy item I know that this thing needs before I even book it in is these wheels. The tires are all bald. So I've put on a set of 4 FGXR6 wheels with brand new tires that I had laying around. This will get it past, and I've got an idea for some different wheels after. A couple of days ago, I dropped the wagon off to Gas and Mechanical here. Every 10 years in Australia, you have to get the gas tank stamped and inspected. So they've done the gas tank inspection, and I got them to have a look at why the converter was running so rough, why the car was running so rough. So I'm gonna go in and see what was wrong with the car, and hopefully they fixed it. I'm back from the LPG shop. I got the certificate. So it's had both LPG tanks removed, inspected and stamped. Every 10 years that has to happen in Victoria. So that's been done to get the roadworthy. It also needed the gas converter fully rebuilt. So the idler arm was missing some washers, so that was causing it to not idle correctly, which was making it run lean. So that's been rectified. The gas pressure system has been reset, and also the water fittings on the back were not far off snapping and would have left me stranded. So that's all been done. And when I got home, I fitted a brand new coolant overflow bottle, because the old one you couldn't even see. The next roadworthy item I need to fix is this washer bottle pump. The front washer bottle doesn't squirt. So I've stolen this little pump off that XR8 that I just bought. If you haven't seen that video, check it out on my channel. You'll notice it's got a front bar on it now. There's a little sneak preview. This won't pass the roadworthy, this roof liner. The owner did say he had it done, but it's starting to peel back off. I want to get it retrimmed all professionally, but not right now. So I'm just gonna use this cheap Bunnings staple gun, and I'm just gonna go along the edges and stop it from sagging. The next item on the roadworthy agenda is the ignition key. It turns forward, but stays forward. It doesn't return back. So I bought a new ignition repair switch kit. So I've pulled out most of it. I've just got to get the old barrel out, and you can see just there should be a little bit of metal just on that tab just there on the left. That's common to snap off. This is the new switch. You can see that little bit of metal just there sticking up. That's what snaps, and that's what allows the key to kick back. So I've got to put all this back together. Not that's what I smashed out. Put all this back together with the new ball bearings, and we can put it back in. Did I fix it? Well, the key spring's back, but the battery looks like it's dead. So the key works. The battery's not very good. It's on its last leg, so I'm going to take the battery out of my ute, which is good, which is only going to go to the wreckers, put it in this, and while I've got the battery disconnected, I'm also going to fit this XR6 steering wheel, which is also off my ute, and it'll match the XR6 leather handbrake cover, gear knob, and center console that I've put in. Fitted the new steering wheel. The XR6 leather wheel matches the leather accessories I've got there, and I also changed these dash spears out of my ute to the silver ones. I think it ties in nicely with the silver on the door trims across the dash and also in the center there. The new battery's in. I also put new wiper arms on it, which also come off my ute. They're only a month old, and I also fitted a set of black slimline weather shields, which I think look grouse. It'll look good once the windows are tinted. This Falcon's pretty good for rust, being in a garage its whole life, but it does have this spot down here on the dog leg, so that is not going to pass a roadworthy. So I'm going to put a patch in here. I'm going to weld a new patch in there. So I've lowered the side skirt. I've removed the back seat because I know these have, which a lot of cars do, sound deadening foam inside there, right where I'm going to be welding, and that stuff is highly flammable, trust me. So I'm going to cut out the patch. I'm going to clean away that foam the best I can, and then when I'm welding in my new one, I've got access in there if I need to put out any little fires. It's a really common spot on these wagons to rust out down here, and water has to get in from somewhere. So I think it is getting in from this little finisher trim up here. If you have a look, you can actually see straight through it there. So this trim is not covering that hole. So I think when water runs down the roof, it falls into that hole, into the quarter, and then it ends up down there on that foam, making that wet, which then causes rust. Because the other side is covered, that hole's covered. So check your wagon. I'm gonna put a bit of glue, automotive glue in there, and glue that back on. I made the patch first and then traced it onto the panel and cut that out. So I cut the rust out, and I made a circle plate because it's easier to weld circle because you don't have these sharp edges where you burn through. So made an oval patch, cleaned it up. Now it's time to tack it on. What do you think of my colour match? It's not very good, but I finished the rust repair last night. Just got it in some primer. That'll pass a roadworthy. I can get some paint mixed up later on to some other things I want to paint. So I've just dropped it off this morning to West Tune Automotive. We're going to get the oil leaks and all the suspension fixed, and hopefully when we get it back up, it's ready to go. I picked the car up from the mechanic shop, and it needed pretty much exactly what I said earlier on in the video. The only thing I missed was the rear brake lines. They were slightly cracked, probably a roadworthy issue. So I got new brake lines on the back, new sump gasket seal, new Super Pro lower control arms, high pressure hose, rocker cover gasket. It did also need a left front engine mount that was torn. That's been replaced. So the car's running really, really good now. Also, I put in new spark plugs and 6 new coil packs, and that seems to have gotten rid of that little misfire I was having even after the gas converter was rebuilt. So I'm really happy with this car now. It is running like an absolute dream. You would not know it has the amount of kilometers it has on it. So it's going in tomorrow for its roadworthy, but I'm going to finish the video off here. It's been long enough. The last couple of things I need to do, I've got new gas struts for the boot. They work, but it doesn't lift it up as fast as I'd like. There's nothing better than new gas struts. It's a pet hate of mine.
And also I'm going to remove the driver's front seat belt, give that a good soak in some hot soapy water, make that work nice. So tune in for the next video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to see what happens next with this car. We're going to see if it goes into Vic Roads for Rego bypassing the roadworthy or not. And I'll do another little video of the car. So thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next